Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. The former chairman of ICA, Aaron Alexander, and the chairman of the cannabis movement, Andre De Caires, have both taken the current government to task for what they say has been a shameful lack of progress on its part to follow through with the cannabis regularization thrust. The two men accused the government of pulling the wool over the public's eyes on this issue during their election campaign and then reneging on the promise of decriminalization. Minister Leonard Montoute says this is not so and promises that government is working on this matter.
All I want to say to you is that it is not true that it has died. I know that, for that matter, Cabinet has identified one member to specifically deal with the matter. And I don't know if it is my place to make that disclosure, but Minister Bradley is the point person at the moment on the issue. So progress is being made, progress has been made. I continue to be a member of Cabinet who is in support of a movement towards reviewing our position as far as cannabis is concerned. I continue to advocate for the expunging of the records of young people, especially who have been incarcerated or charged or who have a criminal record as a result of the use of marijuana or being caught with a stick or two of marijuana.
The minister says the expunging of records has in fact been a process that has been too slow and needs to be accelerated to right years of unfair prosecution regarding the possession of the herb. Well, you heard from Minister Montoute, who says plans are still very much ongoing as it relates to cannabis regularization. The chairman of the cannabis movement and the former chairman of the Ionola Council for the Advancement of Rastafari, ICA, no longer believe what they say was just an election gimmick. So we pose the question to you. Do you think the government really intends to decriminalize cannabis, or do you think, like the two gentlemen, that it was just an election gimmick? Let's hear what you have to say.
First of all, I'm against marijuana. For religious reasons. There is some part of the brain which is religious, and marijuana interferes with that. And when that happens, you lose all sense of reality around you. So for that reason, I am against the use of marijuana as a recreational drug. Well, it's my belief the government will not legalize marijuana. Because it also poses other health risks as well. So I don't think the government will legalize marijuana.
My whole thing about that is that whether they would do it now or whether it's this administration or another, this is something that is inevitable. I'm telling you the truth. The whole question of the decriminalization of marijuana and or legalization of marijuana in the world today, that's the direction they're going. They're going in the direction of using herb for the medical reasons, to industrial reasons and so on. So they move afoot, to tell you the truth, universally, is really towards decriminalizing and legalizing. So St. Lucia will just be putting themselves in a position where they will be left behind. And I heard last time that the Minister of Agriculture said that they have no intention of creating a second cash crop in St. Lucia. And I'm telling you, he's making a big mistake. Because to tell you the truth, the next big and best cash crop you could have in any island like the Caribbean is marijuana and ganja, if you want to call it that.
I believe so, because they have mentioned it before that they was gonna think about it, and I heard that they say that it would be done, but we just don't know when, so we just have to trust on them and wait, because I think that would be a good thing. It would reduce crime in the place, because a lot of youths out there, a lot of the younger generation look to the marijuana for some income, because out there they're not getting no work and everything, so they're trying to see how they can use that to help themselves, but most of them end up getting busted all the time, so it would be a nice thing to do, but we cannot rush it. We just have to keep our fingers crossed and just wait on them.
I do not see this government as one doing anything in the interest of poor people or even Rastafari. For as far as I know, our current administration, especially the head, is not in favor of such people, So I would say that they may but I would think that it would be dissatisfactory the way they do it. Like they have been selling out in mostly all the other countries of the world. I mean, even in Canada, the most known and famous marijuana advocate, Mark Emery, and them are very dissatisfied with what's going on in Canada from what has gone in Jamaica. So what would make St. Lucia any different? Although we are using a model that's totally different from these models, but what I would think with the politicians we have in power right now, I certainly don't think it will be favorable to us when they do. And I would think that it will come closer to an election. Blessed love.
They just want ready-made stuff. So I mean, it's bigger than us. So I do expect that it's a clear cut and dry case of legalization. But the conversation, I hope that it's addressing. So we just have to keep our hopes that that we keep our eyes on the international picture and what benefits us as a people, and not stigma or outdated thinking.
The mayor of Castries, Peterson Francis, and the CCC are talking tough to vendors and business owners. Mayor Francis says vendors have taken advantage of the council's leniency for far too long, and now it's time to face the consequences of not adhering to legislation. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
It's a case of no more Mr. Nice Guy for Castries vendors and business owners around the capital, as the Castries City Council has had enough of the said group taking a mile when an inch was given. Speaking to Hot 7 News on Monday morning, Castries Mayor Peterson Francis expressed his frustration with vendors who he said are paying no consideration to pedestrians whilst earning their living.
The other more worrying part of it is our vendors that's on the sidewalk. Not only after the day's business do they leave their trees and they leave that boulder, do I call it boulder, or these concrete thing to hold the umbrellas and so on, whatever they have, and they leave it anywhere, any part of the sidewalk. Instead of, I was sitting there just a little distance from me by the print tree, Saturday night, that a guy actually tripped on one. We just came from doing a job with other people, and if there wasn't any other person with him, we might have had the death, because when he tripped, the thing has a spike that he was going to fall directly on it. So I'm just warning these vendors. I mean, we had a campaign where we took them out, we gave them back to them, but this time around that will be starting by Wednesday. Any of these things that we get on the sidewalk from Wednesday night will be taken away.
With the CCC's history of lenience, especially towards vendors and their plights, Mayor Francis was asked just how serious he was this time around. He said this time he is not one to be tested.
I'm very serious about it. But certain things happen, you give people the chance in St. Lucia. Since you see you're not, as you said, serious about it, they test you and they go back the same way again. Because you understand the other thing, the people who are supposed to know better in St. Lucia are the one that is in the air, first thing in the air, right? What are they going to do? How are they going to feed the children? But they did not care about the inconveniencing and hurting other people, You understand? So we are serious about that. We have started. There are some of these. We cannot have the place in that place. So we have started. We have taken up some people that just have things packed in the area. We have started. So you will see just now you'll have a lot of news because you have a lot of vendors wanting to speak to you.
The mayor said he is not stopping there. He said he also plans to tackle persons who sell alcohol without the proper licensing.
In St. Lucia, it is fine, it is good until something happens. They'll ask whether mayor, he does be out to Trinidad all the time, he is out, what is he doing? But when the last time we actually take the drinks on the sidewalk, we had prominent people, what you expect them to do? Okay, what do we expect them to do? But I don't know what they're going to do. But all these things will stop.
On Thursday, May 16th, a press release was sent out by the Office of the Mayor, cautioning businesses about obstructing pedestrians with their sidewalk signs. According to Press and Communications Manager within the Office of the Mayor, Jason Hollenseed, this too is an issue which will be dealt with seriously, and said persons who don't take heed to the warnings will be made examples of, as have been the cases with persons who litter and urinate in public. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
Creating an avenue of opportunity that looks to advance the community of Foasho was the agenda for the recently held event in the community. Working with the theme Ghetto Struggle, organizers say a showcasing of talent will counterbalance the reputation of the community and hopefully erase the stigma attached.
The community of Foasho is working towards creating a sense of unity within its residents, with the recently held Foasho Day under the theme Ghetto Struggle. The event, which was organized by community residents, showcased the talents of youth from and around the community. Parliamentary Representative for Castries South, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, says the event can only get bigger and better as it works towards the unification of the community as well as highlighting talent from quote-unquote ghetto areas.
As you probably know by just speaking to the people in the area, Foasho is really proud of this event. Mark has been running a dance academy in Foasho for almost 15 years and been doing tremendous work in the community. In fact, the only social organization really existed in the community is the dance academy. And it's really an opportunity for the community to see the talent that exists among the young people in the community and the surrounding communities. And once a year, we've been doing that for 3 years. Once a year, he puts on a dance production showing the talents of the young people, the talents of youths in the community, and really displaying a theme that people can associate with. This year, the theme is Ghetto Struggle, really talking about life and reality of living in a Foasho, which traditionally, as we know, we would call it a ghetto community. So it's a real fantastic effort. Marcus is one of those unspoken heroes, unspoken persons in St. Lucia who do so much work in their community and never get recognized for it. So I'm really proud to be associated with this event.
Dance, song, and acting made up the performances at the Foasho Extravaganza event. Organizer of the event and co-founder of FAC Dance Academy, Stephen Alexander, says the performances highlighted the many trials faced by individuals coming from impoverished backgrounds.
Every year we try to showcase the talent from the community, right? Especially try to erase the stigma from the community, right? Maybe today, I guess today says all, right? A lot of the skits that we did was implementing, right, the ghetto struggle, right? That things that we face in the community, especially when we go for jobs and the stigma attached to the jobs, right? Even when we go to schools and the stigma attached to people from Foasho when you go to school, right? So like we will implement all of that there tonight there, right? And showcase it in dance and drama, right? With all the sponsors and so on, right? I like to thank, right, some of those that take the time to come out and sponsor us because they know that is a good initiative.
The event lived up to its mandate of expunging the stigma attached to the community, according to one young patron of the event. She says the incident-free atmosphere of Foasho Day shows the capacity of youth to lead.
So far, I thought Foasho was a bad place, but now I am enjoying the event so far. I'm getting it good, incident-free, young children, I'm socializing. I'm not even from the area and I'm enjoying myself.
The event was well attended by both young and old patrons looking to take in the talent on display during the event. Furthermore, the organizers say more is to come for the community and notes a lantern competition slated for December 2019 in Foasho. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more coming up after the break.